This thing? The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have come. Let's look around here for some more clues.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper.
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card."
This is...
Is that all? The back.
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No.
Wriothesley. Did he...
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning?
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So that you're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulette, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. I'd like to know that too. Why did he only go after her? Don't panic, just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now. Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means... The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds, could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No, I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them. I'll go talk to Wriothesley.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so?
Is someone?
Pack everything up! Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are quite sharp. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill. Lenny! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him. He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office.
Come out and face me, Risley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands.
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you...
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of... Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now.
Wait, you can't... You locked him outside?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a... Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face...
So, you've been...
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth...
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone...
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly... Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you... Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me.
I should...
6.
Wait,
2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler! If you can't...
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, I'll ask you 3 questions. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the value of coupons will spend them on Fonta. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new... The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the world very differently from humans. As according to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. The company must want a return on their investment as well. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin be doing during that time? The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. Fonta's internal reports... The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the world very differently from humans. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the The research notes said that the Melazine race We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can perceive the general... The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives... The research notes said that the We often see Miss Sijuin... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch.
So that's what's going on. The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not... At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all... prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of it out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health. Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina booth. Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want any... Unfortunately, Melazines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and they're the recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot take... Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. Alright, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight. Why is that?
Fanta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has to undergo a trial because even Fanta's own employees have a lot of reservations about it. The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the value of coupons. The research notes said that according to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company sponsored it. Fanta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new... The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons.
Paimon gets this rule too now! That hidden rule of the Pancration ring is about how, people get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate, but really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packed a blood-red drink. It's the company facing backlash from its own staff. They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could... The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fanta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were so...
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words, I may just reconsider my collaboration. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even You'll pay for this!
Lenny! Are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigewinne.
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sigewinne? Though this gun may look like a toy.
Sigewinne... You...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of... But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything. His Grace knows it too, right?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I...
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave.
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande. My door.
Fremine...
What's going on? What is Clarande doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
What did you say?
Please, make some space.
I'll talk to Clarande while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of... Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be...
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time... Well...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance...
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intention.
That's a bad sign. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be...
Are you sure? You don't...
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but...
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
His breathing's beginning...
Give me a hand and help me get him to the
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to go... The Duke and Clarande are gone. They probably went to get some tea.
Rev the engines!
He's awake!
Lynette.
We're all here.
memory at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine, and you are no longer in any danger. How do you feel? Don't...
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. This is where the water starts. Master... The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be... there are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the... My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail...
That's right. I tried my best to swim back.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just...
Miss Clarande, you say?
You're still too weak, Freminet.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then...
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on.
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't...
Understood.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss...
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarande.
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another...
All right. Thank you for looking out for me.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin?
Then Paimon will begin.
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to...
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's...
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. The Forbidden Zone has always been Lenny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming
Are the rumors true? That you're also a...
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison?
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask...
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as... That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the harbor.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions.
You make a compelling case.
Yeah, Paimon...
Even if the truth may not be pleasant. Follow me.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Rise.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is. Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only... Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your...
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking...
Well, I'd advise you wait...
So there's a switch on the side!
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because normally I would have ignored it. But I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the... Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude
The concentration of...
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, it's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, the Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is...
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate, to be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third. Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you.
All right then, if your grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of him. Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace!
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new...
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that...
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor material, so the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh,
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw.
yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great. I look forward...
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
much like Risley, always drinking tea.
Actually, while I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me.
Must have been Risley and Sijwin.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so...
I really can't make
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijwin is also...
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself, firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Meripede.
Ooh, he's good. He got...
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first. What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. I don't have enough information, so I have...
The sea will engulf everyone.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she...
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically...
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lenny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
You've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
You're incredibly helpful.
Yeah, you two are always telling me not to push myself, but aren't you just like that as well?
Try and stop me!
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, Miss? And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss... You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria. What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too! Don't forget. No problem. Just leave it to me. So delicious. I'm so happy. Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious. I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better... a bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care. You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so... Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear. Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said... Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Glorand. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linney as well. We had to press... You were all super considerate. It's just what we do down here at the fortress. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos. Get a good night's rest, you two.
It's you two.
How's dinner?
It's all right. Miss Sijwin really put in a lot of effort.
So we heard that Risley invited you to come down to help, and you saved Fremine too!
Oh, it was child's play.
Still, Paimon didn't know even Champion Duelist. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sijwin and the Duke? Well,
Miss Sijwin was with you, and the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
Yeah. First time in a long time.
First time in a long time? So you mean you've gone...
In the past, yes. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here. Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around unnecessarily.
I'm super sleepy. Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
What happened? Why is everyone... No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, what? What's wrong with these people?
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
We still in Lavaroon. Do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do—
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? What?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you—
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible. Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer. Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happened to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Rev the engines!
People over there. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right?
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certain.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received...
Well, in any case, there's no...
Oh. And just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meripede!
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago, since he was unfortunately unavailable. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the Opera House. Is it...
Letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long...
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
Huh? I don't...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure. Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the...
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like...
That was obviously a... Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
I must say, Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression...
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am,
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it...
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina... Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer. Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for...
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so...
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, traveler. We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too!
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against...
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us enough. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, a Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, The bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me. I'm begging you, please.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Fossilor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Ridesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authority. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an advice.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my... Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay.
If by the phrase, "you guys," you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
Neuvillette?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, and then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental Archons and 7 matching Dragon Sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later...
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Rev the engines!
Now guess.
A bit.
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello.
Looks like you're recovering nicely, Fremine.
Thanks to everyone's. Oh, right. I meant.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us. We should start preparing that tea party.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'll help you set it up.
You guys are back?
Crystal! Mom!
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at all.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just...
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you?
Something like that. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots, or those two. Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pal.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite. Hey, why don't we have a meal with those two one of these days?
You want to cook for them yourself?
Why not? Good chance to show them what I can do.
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the... Oh, of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided. How did Nervulette know that he was needed here? Well, Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both alright. If you're not too pressed for time, just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. If you can find the time, please stay at the fortress for just...
Courier? Miss Sijween told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you?
Courier! Lurvine! We're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all! Courier, the rumors about us are literally everywhere.
But it's not like I caused them by myself. All right. I'll...
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sijween's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Clorand has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sijween.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sijween worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gift—
Are these from Sijween too?
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release. Your file can't be closed until we've completed your paperwork, so don't forget to come find me again when you're done serving your sentence.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Beat. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only advent? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventure with him. Just our thoughts. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly We should be safe now. All right then. Good night to you, traveler.